extraordinary music.
What's going on, Masterclass family? This is your boy, Mr. Adams. Today we're going to do a trade of the day review on Amzn. I didn't catch this trade. This was put out in the Masterclass Society chat room by Mr. Matt Caraway. Really great trade. He caught it. So let's review the trade, starting with the 5-minute chart. On the 5-minute chart of Amzn, the light gray shaded area here, you can see that Amzn is a gold. All of the moving averages are somewhat tightly together, definitely within one grid. If you can see the grid in the background, all of the moving averages in the pre-market are within one grid. The middle line here, this purple line, is the pivot point line, and it's trading with the candlesticks and the moving averages. So I would consider this to be a gold middle pre-market. That's probably why it didn't really catch my attention, because I was looking for gold marriage. Anyway, for the first 2 hours, 3 hours, Amzn didn't really catch my attention. However, Matt did catch the trade. But when Amzn really became active was around 12:30 to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. As you can see here, Amzn popped above the pivot point, the middle pivot, with the green candlestick. And then the next candlestick right here, it closed above the 200-day moving average, which is the red line here. That's always a strong signal when you have a candlestick close above the 200-day moving average. And it held for the next 30 minutes above the pivot point and above the 200-day moving average. Not to mention that it's already above all of the other moving averages, which is a very strong signal. So here with Amzn, you could have entered, you had 30 minutes to enter. You could have entered on this candlestick above the 200, the doji here, or even the one as it started to break out. And this trade really broke out. I mean, it took off about $12 to $13 within about an hour. I think one of the trades were a 15 to 1. Let's take a look at it on the 1 hour chart. This is a perfect silver setup on the 1 hour chart for Amzn. You have 4 moving averages tightly consolidated here over the last few days and a 200-day beneath it. So we consider this a silver. For ideal setups, you want to see either gold or a silver on the 1 hour chart, and this is certainly a silver here. Plus, as you can see, Amzn had broke over those moving averages right around 11 o'clock, or around 12 o'clock, I'm sorry, and then broke above the cloud, which confirms what you're looking at on the 5-minute. You can also see that Amzn had been consolidating as it began to TTM squeeze up in here around that time as well before it took off. On the 30-minute chart, you have a flat Ichimoku cloud here. Amzn broke above that cloud, and it's also a silver on the 30-minute. What makes it a silver? The 200-day is not connected to it. It's spread apart. So you have a silver on a 30-minute chart. You have a silver on a 1 hour chart. You have Amzn closing above the Ichimoku cloud. That's a positive sign to have a potential 5 to 1 trade, along with seeing a gold on the 5-minute chart. If you take a look on the daily chart, you can see how Amzn spazzed after its earnings, and then it formed a flag. It went down for 3 days with small dojis. However, the chalk and money flow is still very positive. Not to mention that on the 5-minute chart, the chalk and money flow was dual on both of them, and I'll go back and I'll show you guys that. But it formed a flag here. It went down for 3 days, and then boom, it popped up. So you have a flag on the daily chart, which is a really great technical signal. If you look at the 1-minute chart, you see a perfect gold setup here right around noon before Amzn began to take off, and both of your money flows are positive. This is another signal. So you have a 5-minute chart, a 1-minute chart, a daily chart, a 1 hour chart, and a 30-minute chart, all confirming that this is a really good setup. If I quickly go back to the 5-minute chart, you can see here around noontime where both of the money flows begin to go positive. That's a positive sign. You have the chalking money flow and the money flow oscillator both turning green. That means big money is entering the stock. And then if you take a look at the volume average, the volume began to break over the average value line, which just made this trade work. If we take a look at the options chain here, if we take a look at the 1097 calls or even the 1100 calls, these calls went from $124 per contract to $1,500 per contract. That's like a 13 to 14 to 1. That's pretty much $124 into $1,500. Or the 1100 contracts went from $115 per contract to $1,300 per contract. Once again, it's about $100 to $1,300. That's $1,000 into $13,000. I mean, that's a really great trade. So Amzn is certainly our trade of the day, with it being a 15 to 1 gold middle setup, dual money flow. Looks great on all time frames. Masterclass. Dominate.